Hey, what's going on everyone? I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that all of you are having a great day, and thank you for joining me here today for your daily dose of Star Wars. Yesterday night I gave you guys my spoiler-free review of The Last Jedi right after I saw the film. You guys got my initial first thoughts and reactions to it, and as you guys know, I was a big fan of the film. So today I thought I'd give you guys my spoiler review of the movie before I go see it again tonight. Remember in that video yesterday I did a giveaway where you can enter to win the AMC Fan Event Topps trading cards. I have 2 sets of those, so again I'll put the entry rules up above on the screen right now, but all you gotta do to enter is be a subscriber, like this video, and leave a comment. I'll announce that winner here within the next week or so after the film comes out and after everyone gets a chance to watch both videos if they choose to do so and want to be entered. But with that being said, we're going to get into the spoiler review of The Last Jedi. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you might want to hold off on watching this up until you've seen the movie, or if you don't care, have fun and have at it. In my spoiler-free review, I did talk about that there were parallels between The Last Jedi and other Star Wars films, and Rian Johnson has said that, but it's not like a direct repeat of anything that we've seen as a movie as a whole. But there were definitely similarities, and I didn't mind them at all. I thought they made the story work well. It gave us a lot of new things with this film, but it also gave us a lot of things that Star Wars fans are going to recognize as this is something in Star Wars. One of those times when this happened, when we got like a parallel between The Last Jedi and an older film, was when we have Rey thinking that she can save Ben Solo, and she leaves Ahch-To to go to him. She launches herself off in an escape pod from the Falcon, and then she arrives at the First Order's operations, and she opens up her escape pod, and Kylo Ren's there with stormtroopers ready to take her to Snoke, and they're riding up in the elevator, and this harkened back to the Return of the Jedi when Luke and Vader are riding up in the elevator and they're just on Endor, and Rey tells Ben that she can save him, you know, it's not too late to turn, she's seen his future, and this really paralleled Luke and Vader's conversation. And then Kylo Ren says something to the veil of, "You will turn, I won't be, you'll join me instead," which harkens back to something that Vader said to Luke. So that was the really first initial parallel that we got. And then after that, they're up there, and Rey's in front of Snoke. You know, Luke, Vader stands behind, just listens to Snoke talk, which is just like Vader listening to the Emperor talk. And we have Rey come closer to Snoke, and Snoke makes her look at the fleet that is failing and at how they're going to lose, and that there's no possible way she can win. And that was really a callback to Return of the Jedi again, when the Emperor is making Luke say, "Hey look, you're gonna lose. It's not too late for you to join me and be a winner." Another similarity between older Star Wars films and The Last Jedi was when we have Rey on Ahch-To going into the pit of darkness and falling in it, and then this is what triggers her vision for this film, which is similar to the way that Luke's Dagobah cave vision happened, where he has to go to the evil place on the planet and then go through it, survive it, come back out, and hopefully learn something from it. With Rey, she was trying to figure out who her parents were, and at the end of her vision, she's like, okay, I'm about to figure it out, and then it just turns out to be her. Just the same way that in Luke's Dagobah cave moment, that Darth Vader's, when his head came off and Luke was going to see who was under the mask, he just saw himself. It was the same situation here. We also got a scene with Yoda in this film, which I've been saying was going to happen for a long time, and that was fantastic to see. It was puppet Yoda, it was the original trilogy looking Yoda, which was fantastic. So all the rumors of Frank Oz at Pinewood and the Ahch-To set recreation, they were all true, because Yoda was in the film. It was fantastic. He was hilarious as he was in the original trilogy, less like the prequel trilogy Yoda, which I found to be a very wonderful addition. When he came on screen, everyone in my theater applauded for a good 3 or 4 seconds during that period of him just saying, being there while Luke was walking up to the tree. It was just fantastic to see that, to have Yoda bring back, so have a callback from the original trilogy that wasn't already introduced like Luke, Han Solo, or Leia was. There are other similarities between The Last Jedi and other Star Wars films that parallel films that came before it, but when you've been making when you've been building upon the same story for 8 films now, it's really hard to ask a director, writer, anyone to say, make it completely different and don't do anything that we've already seen, but still make it Star Wars. That's kind of an impossible task. So the way Rian Johnson did it was he had similar beats of story elements and callbacks to past films, but it didn't make it seem like it was a copycat of any of those films that came before it, which to me was really, really well done. Rian Johnson deserves a lot of praise for being able to take the film, make it feel like it's supposed to be a Star Wars movie, make it a Star Wars movie, but make it new, which was really well done. A definitely challenging task to do. To go along with all of these parallels, there certainly were things in the story that I didn't think I would see. One of the big things that surprised me was when Rey was brought to Supreme Leader Snoke, and Snoke says, "Okay, Kylo Ren, I now believe that you are fully free of the light side and your confliction, so to prove it, to show it to me, I want you to take your lightsaber and strike Rey down and kill her where she stands." And Kylo Ren pulls out his lightsaber, but while he's doing that, he takes his other hand, he takes his left hand and moves the lightsaber that Rey had towards Snoke, and Snoke's all victorious. He's laughing. He's like, "Haha, I'm gonna beat you. You're not gonna win. I will reign supreme." And then Kylo ignites the lightsaber, and Snoke is shocked, and he is killed. Kylo Ren murdered Snoke, which is something that I didn't think would happen in the way that it did. I thought that it would happen probably in 9, and then after that happened, I expected Rey and Kylo Ren to have to defeat the Praetorian Guards. I think I may have said that after the first trailer, like the first real trailer on Monday Night Football, in my Why Kylo Ren Will Save Rey from Snoke video. But that action sequence between Rey, Kylo Ren, and the Praetorian Guards, the Reylo, if you will, and the Praetorian Guards, it was fantastic. It was well done. It was shot amazingly. It was clear that some of the behind-the-scenes thing we saw with Adam Driver working on his lightsaber skills, that was for this fight here. It was incredibly... I just can't say enough great things about that sequence itself. It was fantastic. But the reason it was even more fantastic was after it was done, we all expected, oh, yay, Ben Solo's back. He's going to be on the light side. We're going to defeat the First Order. Yay. And then we get the Anakin Revenge of the Sith moment where he says, okay, I want you to help me reshape the galaxy, and that way we can make it whatever we want. I don't want to do this alone. I want to do this with you, Rey. But if you choose to say no, I will still do it anyway, and you will still be my enemy. That was something that I didn't expect, especially considering when Kylo killed Snoke and they did the fight scene. Everyone in my theater again gave a lot of applause. And then when Kylo said, come with me, we can reshape the galaxy, everyone was like, oh, because it was so close to what we all thought was going to happen, which was just another great twist that Rian Johnson had in to make it feel fresh and to make it feel like this was a new Star Wars film with the classic elements to make it a Star Wars experience. And another way that Rian Johnson was able to accomplish this task was by telling us more about the Force. Now, we knew Luke was going to have more Force abilities in this film, but we didn't know that Rey and Kylo Ren would also show us some new things that we didn't know the Force could do. For example, the connection between the two of them that was teased 3 or 4 times throughout the film before they actually met again was when Rey was on Ahch-To, she was in her little hut, and Kylo Ren says, I'd rather not do this now. Yeah, me too. I wouldn't want to do this right now either. But then the two of them, Rey was able to reach her hand out, and Kylo was able to reach their hand, and then Luke comes in, and we see that matter was physically moved, like Kylo Ren physically became a part of Ahch-To. Although Luke could see him, Kylo Ren could still only see Rey. He couldn't see anything else that was around him, and that was around her. So that was just one of the ways that the Force works. Luke could see it, he says no, and apparently when he breaks, I guess, their concentration or their bond or their connection, Kylo Ren goes away and everything goes back to normal. That was one of the things we didn't know that the Force could do. This was also done in a similar way with Luke towards the end of the film, where he's remained on Ahch-To, and everyone in the audience thought he was on Crate. He cut his hair. We were like, oh, okay, Luke cut his hair. You know, he's back. He's coming out of hiding. and instead he's on Ahch-To, on the rocks that Rey was on when she cracks the ground, and he's concentrating all of his energy to put himself on Crate to distract Kylo Ren to save everyone else, which was another thing that we, I guess, would have been more inclined to expect out of Luke than out of Kylo Ren and Rey, and completely moving himself to the other location. It was fantastically well done, and it was a great way to introduce something fresh that everyone was wanting in this Star Wars. For everyone who hated The Force Awakens, it was something new, but I'm sure there's going to be some people who are still going to have a little sour attitude about it because it was something that they didn't know could happen. So you can't please everyone, but I thought it was really well done, and the way that Rian Johnson chose to explain it and how it was done, and the way he showed the audience how it was done, it was fantastic. And there's no way I cannot mention this when we thought that Kylo Ren was going to blow Leia's ship up. I never thought that. I've said that countless times, that he's not going to actually do that. But some of the members of the First Order did that, and I thought that Kylo Ren was going to go save Leia, but instead Leia uses the Force to take herself back to the ship, and my jaw was dropped. I was looking at my best friend sitting next to me. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That was crazy. That was awesome. Because we finally got to see Leia use the Force, out of 4, 5, and 6, this was the real first time we got to see her use it, and it was fantastic. It was a great sight to see. And after Leia gets back to the ship, she slips into her, she goes to recover in some type of coma or something along those lines. And Laura Dern's Admiral Holdo is now in command when Poe thought that he should be in command. And Poe's arc in this film was very well done. He kind of replaced Han Solo in a way of being the hot shot. He wanted to just go fly things. He wanted to go blow something up. He was just wanting to get the job done as quickly as he can, get in, get out, be done with it all, and put an end to it. And this wasn't what he was able to do. And since there was no Han Solo to fill that void, Poe did a fantastic job of doing that, especially considering his role was a little more limited in The Force Awakens. Oscar Isaac did a fantastic job in this film, and he really shined through, and he really became a leader towards the end of it, especially, and that was really acknowledged by Leia when they're all in and they're looking for the other way out, and she goes, hey, why are you looking at me? Follow him. Because Poe's like, okay, I can get us out of here, follow me, and everyone's looking at Leia. No, don't look at me, follow him, he just told you what to do. This is when everything is kind of becoming full circle with all of the characters, everything is coming back around, and this is also where we have the final thing with Luke and Kylo Ren, where Luke is projecting himself from Ahch-To, and Kylo Ren's super angry. Before he gets out to go actually face him head on, he says, fire everything at this guy, every gun point at him. And then he goes for a minute, just firing guns at him. And Hux says, okay, stop that. Do you think you got him yet? And Luke emerges out of it, and Kylo Ren goes, swings through him. And one of the things I noticed that I thought was really weird was when Luke is moving and avoiding Kylo Ren's attacks, and he's not making any red lines in the planet on Crate. He's not making anything from the salt. It's just staying white. And I was like, that's odd, but maybe Luke is just powerful enough with the Force to cover his tracks like that. But then I got the really big twist where he's not even there. And that was awesome. It was well done. It was new. It was fresh. The action, the way that was shot, that just scene between Luke and Kylo Ren, it was fantastic. And I loved it. I really loved the movie that much more at that point. And while I really did love this movie, there were only 1 or 2 small things that I could have done without in this movie, and I don't want to just praise the entire thing and just say, yeah, it was fantastic front to back. There's only a couple little small things that I didn't like, and one of those was those random kids who were on the fathiers, and I was like, okay, you're just introducing these 3 random kids, and they're like, we're with the Resistance. Wow. And I understand why that was there. It was there to show why we still have hope in the galaxy, and that the Resistance really isn't alone, because we have other people who want to be free from the First Order's reign and terror. But especially at the end when they go back to that little kid with the broom, I was like, please do not end the movie here. You can't end the movie with just some random kid that we weren't even given a name for, no backstory for. All we know is that he was sitting there with a fathier that they took and rode to help escape of Canto Bite. I was like, okay, that just felt out of place to me. It kind of ruined the pacing of the movie. But other than that, I thought it was really well done. I really liked DJ's arc, the way Benicio del Toro was portrayed. But in addition to that, Maz was supposed to point them out to him. And I didn't even realize this until last night when I was trying to go to sleep, that Maz was only in the movie for like a minute. And I mean, I was fine with that. Maz isn't really like one of my favorite characters. I didn't mind her in The Force Awakens for the purpose that she served. But in this, she was just kind of left out of it. Not to say that that's really a negative aspect of the movie. It's just something that I noticed and I just thought I'd point out. My only other complaint about the film is I want more Luke. And that's not really a knock towards anything of the actual film. That's just a personal thing for me, is Luke is my favorite character, and I always want more Luke if I can get more Luke. And now with episode 9, hopefully we get Force Ghost Luke. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of angry people out there. But in terms of the movie overall, it was fantastic. I recommend going to see it, as I said. If I had to pick my favorite couple of scenes, it would definitely be Reylo versus the Praetorian Guards, Yoda's appearance, and the final battle between Luke and Kylo Ren, that entire sequence, along with Rey saying lifting rocks and then having her teachings come full circle to say she is a Jedi, and that was fantastically well done. Rey is now a Jedi lifting rocks. Luke is no longer here, he's part of the Force. That means Rey is officially a Jedi, and that was hinted at by Luke saying, and I will not be the last Jedi. So the film was fantastic. I really can't say that enough. I'm gonna go see it again tonight. I'll probably go see it again the next day and the next day. I can't remember how many times I saw The Force Awakens. I think it was like 6 or 7, so this one, we'll just have to see what number I get to at this point. But that wraps things up for this review. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was really long, but I hope some of you were able to bear with me. Don't forget that if you want to be entered to win that giveaway, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. If you want more Star Wars Coffee, I'm back on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at SW Coffee YouTube. If you want to be a daily coffee drinker and see one of these new videos as soon as it gets up there, and when I announce the giveaway, if you want to be sure to know if you won that first, hit that bell down there to receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Keep loving Star Wars, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.